So it's Wednesday morning, luckily my easy day today, or easy day. 2 hours on the bike. I use this normally to do a bit of strength on the bike, so I'll do a Zwift, I think still on stage 4. It's got some mountain climbing, so I'll do the mountain climb route for Tour of Utopia and tack a little bit onto the end. Then I'd probably have to rest for the day. Newcastle playing the Champions League later, but Wednesday's my day of having to run around and do stuff for the kids, so I will be avoiding all social media so I don't see the score, and I'll watch that on demand on Paramount later on. I'm tired because my dog has been up with diarrhea. I don't know why he's got that, but I have to take him out at like 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, so he's been keeping me awake all night. So I'm probably likely to have a nap this afternoon as well. So it's time to change my chain. This one got about 560 kilometers on it, which is a bit over a week. I've got 3 chains that I cycle, and it's just starting to squeak. I could probably squeeze out a bit more. You can see some dusty gunk building up there. If I look down here, you see around the pulley, like you can see flaking off of the wax and so on. That's not a big deal, but it is making a bit of a squeaking sound. Try and focus in on the rungs. There we go. It's making a squeaking sound, so it's time to replace this one. It's pretty well beaten up. 560 or 580 kilometers is a pretty good ride. And I've got my long riding day tomorrow and my team time trial, so I'm just going to switch the chain out. So I've got a fresh start tomorrow. One thing I did want to show with a wax chain, this is a new chain. I'll see if I can get this. The part where this lock nut goes in, so you can see the lock nut, if you can just see on the side there's a tiny little bit of grease close to where the chain part is. So when this goes in the hole, the grease is going to make, the wax is going to make it so that it doesn't go perfectly in line with it. So what I've got to do, I just use a pen knife and I will just scrape away this wax here. Get as much of it as possible, and also on the chain, so that it can get flush, because you can see on here this groove has to be able to stick out the other side for the opposite side to lock on. That's often a problem with wax chains, getting them to go back on. So that's the trick. You just use the knife and clean as much wax as you can off both this end part here and inside here. The other problem I've had to fix again is the seat railing. You can see this is back to the correct position. My tape that I showed you last week has slid forward as well, so it's not gripping the rail. So what I'm trying to do this time is clamp it halfway, so you can see the back half here is not clamped to tape, only the front half is. So hopefully if there's any forward pressure, it's just going to bunch the tape up rather than sliding the actual rail forward. I've done this up as tight as I possibly can this time, so hopefully it's going to stay. It's a real nuisance because it prevents me from riding aero. Probably going to have to go and talk to the bike shop guys and see if there's a fix, because I don't know if these parts are proprietary for the bike. Otherwise I could replace this whole bracket piece. There might be something more effective out there, I don't know. I have to do some research. So it's Wednesday night. Just a 2-hour bike ride today. I did 60 k's of hill climbing on the course that I'm racing for the TT tomorrow. Was not as tough as last week's course. Still a tough course, plenty of climbing, but it's going to be a little bit of a break. Dinner tonight, salmon. This is wild caught salmon, and it's going to be pasta, so I'm just going to cook some spaghetti. I always use this brand because these jars are plastic and don't break. Just enjoying my non-alcoholic beer. And the other thing was getting my stuff ready, because I got 5.5 hours on the bike, so I got a 45 minute time trial tomorrow, followed by a 5.5 hour bike ride. I got to figure out taking the girls to school and stuff. Might have to get a friend to pick them up. I was going to highlight this thing because I'm getting my nutrition ready tonight. This is awesome for keeping the goo packs in. If I just show you the goo packs, I've shown them previously from so you get this, you buy, it's like got 15 serves in here, you can squirt it straight into here. The problem with this is cleaning it, which is what I have to do now. So I've got to kind of unscrew the top, and it's a real nuisance. I've got to soak it basically. So I'm gonna end up buying a few of these just so that I don't have to keep doing that, and I can do a whole heap at once. But for now, it's carb loading. This with pasta, into bed early tonight. So it's 4:30 in the morning again. Team time trial. I had a decent sleep last night. I think the dog is getting better. He slept right through. My wife got these pumpkin bagels, so I'm gonna have one of those with a Pop-Tart before. Get a spin in to get organised. My plan today, because I got 5.5 hour ride, so I'll do the 45 minutes on the bike. Then probably I'm gonna have to split my ride in two, so I'm gonna have to take probably a half-hour break to walk the dog and take the girls to school, and hopefully finish around, I think, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'll have some lunch and a bit of a rest before I go and pick them up. And going forward next week, I'm going to find somebody to come and pick them up and take them to school on a Thursday, so that my ride won't be interrupted. But for now, I get some coffee in, a very light 10-minute spin with a few bursts, and then time to ride. 5:19 we start. So my fuel for today is trimmed down. I've got Morton in here, Gatorade. Try these Scratch again. I wasn't too impressed last time, but I try them a few times before I make a judgment. Stroop waffles, and this is vanilla bean goo. It's got 20 milligrams of caffeine, which is not huge. Hardly worth mentioning, but I haven't tried this flavour before, so I'll give it a go. I also have a packet of these Power Bar Power Gels, which is a caffeine hit. I'm hoping to finish around lunchtime, so I can then have a proper solid lunch. One slight change I'm going to experiment with this week is beetroot juice. I usually keep this I do shorter races. I'll take this in the morning, but I'm going to see what sort of effect it has for this time trial, and also going into my longer ride, because it says it's endurance and VO2 max. So I'm just starting out on my 5-hour ride. Team time trial was an epic failure. Everything was going wrong right from the start. I forgot my heart rate monitor, so I had to run upstairs. Suddenly got sore stomach, had to go to the toilet. Forgot to put my shoes on, so it must have been quite tired. So I got there with like 1 minute to spare. By the time I plugged my headphones in, ready to go, then I think I had like 10 seconds or something. Then I really struggled to keep up, almost got dropped in the first 2 minutes. Finally got going. 10 minutes in, I could keep up. And then my Chromecast froze, so I couldn't see what I was doing. I couldn't see anything on the screen. I could only see my laptop in the distance, which didn't have my glasses, so I couldn't see exactly what was going on. Didn't know if I was in the lead. So I don't know what happened. It seemed to freeze a bit, and then either I got completely dropped or everyone disappeared and I was riding by myself, so I quit. Zwift wouldn't save. It was stuck in this I don't really care, it's a 10-minute ride. I just wanted to get out of Zwift, but it was stuck in this circle that kept going round and round and round. Eventually it saved. So now I'm forced to start my 5.5 hour ride early. Hopefully Zwift doesn't muck me around this time, so I'll do the 5.5 hours, and then later on, rather than, because I didn't do the time trial, I'll just do an easy 45-minute run. A few hours, maybe 2 hours, 1 hour after the bike ride finishes. But now to settle in for a long day. Not sure what I'm going to watch yet, because I watched Moneyball yesterday on my ride for about the third or fourth time. That was really good, so I might try and find something familiar. There's a new John Gotti documentary on Netflix I'll probably check out. But I'm just going to ride for about an hour just looking at Zwift, just to wake up properly and get in the rhythm. If I can do nothing, I'll try and do that for as long as possible before I start to look to ways to entertain myself. But start of a long day. First hour is down. I didn't even really look at the power. I think that power's a bit higher. It was around 130 to 140 I was riding. I just thought I just want to relax, see what a comfortable pace is if I don't have access to power data. Looks like it's around the standard, about 30 kilometers an hour, which is what I want to average for the ride, for the race. Didn't do anything, just browsing the internet. I'm going to push on, not going to watch anything yet at 6:30 in the morning. Don't want to wake the house up. I'll wait till everybody's awake before I turn on music or the TV. So just going to push on. The problem is that I have these two gears on my cassette. You can't really see them, I guess. This is the easier one, where I comfortably push above 90, so I ride around 95 RPM. The problem is if I shift down a gear, it drops to about 83. I don't have that gear, that ratio in between, and it's really frustrating. I mentioned previously I want to switch the cogs around. I haven't had a chance to do that yet, so I might have to get onto that at some point. So I've just crossed the 2-hour mark, 60.6 kilometers, so I think it's almost identical to the first hour. If I was to guesstimate, I'm averaging about 155 watts, keeping my heart rate around 110 beats, which is pretty consistent. It means I'm not going to tire out, I'm fueling properly. The only thing is my legs will get tired. I'm going to have a break for like 1 minute, maybe 2, to go to the bathroom, stretch my legs, give me an opportunity to refill bottles. I think for the race itself, I'll do the same strategy every 2 hours. I'll get off the bike for a maximum of probably 2 to 3 minutes, maybe a 5-minute break somewhere in there. If I do that, say 3 to 4 times, just to let the legs stretch out, it'll be a good strategy. So I'm going to implement that in my training as well. Just crossed the 3-hour mark. I had to break for about 35-40 minutes, take the dog to the bathroom in the morning and take my daughters to school. Some crazy lady was screaming at the principal, was swearing in front of everybody, so I had to hang around to see how that played out. I'm just going to watch this B.A.D on Netflix. I should be able to finish the whole series on this ride. Just hanging around 150 watts. I managed to use the time to refill my drink bottles. I've changed back to my old bib. I've still got a bit of a sore butt, but we'll see how that goes. So I've just gone past 4 hours. 120 kilometers exactly, so that means I just slowed down a touch for that hour. I think my average is down around 145 to 150. I was having a bit of an issue with my bib. I've changed to a Pearl bib now. I started out in a bib that I got from Amazon, which is it's my favorite bib. It's only like 30 or 40 bucks. But I was getting a real discomfort in this kind of where my butt meets my leg on both sides. So perhaps the padding or something is wearing a bit thin, so I'm trying out these Pearl now. So far they've been decent. I'm just working my way through the John Gotti documentary, 1 episode to go. This is a pretty cruisy one. I think I shouldn't have too much trouble with this last 1.5 hours, and I'm going to have some lunch, clean up outside, make sure my ice bath is not too rancid, and then do a 45-minute light jog, and then jump in the ice bath to finish. So I'm on the home stretch now. I've just passed 5 hours, exactly 150 k's, so it's almost exactly 30 kilometers an hour, which is, as I say, my average. What I think I'm going to do as these rides get longer, I might switch over from next week and ride my road bike instead, just to see how it feels, because this obviously my tri bike is going to be faster, but once we get to 8, 9, 10 hour rides, comfort is going to trump speed. I think I'd rather give up the 3 kilometers an hour speed and be comfortable on the road bike, perhaps. I don't know, I'm going to test that out. So I've got 30 minutes to go, then I'll have some lunch. So I just had some lunch. I finished the ride. My lunch was leftover dinner from last night, pasta with a bit of salmon, just some carbs to load up. It's 12:35, so I'm looking at about 1:15. I'm going to start running, give myself a bit of time. Right now, making coffee. I got this really cool cup from Temu for like $4. It's stainless steel, because I've been playing around with my coffee and worked out about the coffee I like best is about 200 mils of coffee, So this is a 220ml cup. I specifically wanted this size. I just plugged in 220ml cup, stainless steel cup. I wanted stainless steel because I thought it looks nice. This is exactly what I wanted. It makes the perfect strength for me. I also have these little rice cups that come from Costco, just more carbs, and possibly some of this stuff. Cinnamon sugar bread from Trader Joe's. Basically need something sweet just to give me a kick to get going. It's a 45-minute easy run, so I should be able to bang it out, no problem. But our cleaner called and she's not coming. I'd stripped all the beds and washed the sheets, so now she's not coming. I've got to put the beds back together, which is damn tiring after you've done all that all day. And just give the house and I've got to prepare dinner. I was going out for dinner tonight because we get her to babysit as well, but she's not going to be here, so now I've got to make dinner as well. So my plan was originally to do about 7 hours of exercise and basically bonk for the night, but now I've got heaps of stuff to do, so this is going to be a testing day. So for this run today, I'm going to try and tape my ankle. It's not this side here, it's the inside, so this part here that's painful. I watched a video where they tape it from basically here around the back and under the foot. And so, because it's a short run, I can test things out. I'm going to give it a go and see if it actually works or not, and if it's good, then I can use it for my run tomorrow. So I use a strip of this stuff. This stuff is pretty lousy. I bought bulk of it when I had a knee injury. It doesn't stick very well, but I was almost going to give it away on neighborly gifting. I've still got it, so I'm hoping it's going to stick better when it's underneath the sock. So you kind of just, judging by the video, so you put it in front of the bone, so I guess somewhere like that, stick it, and then for about an inch, they say, to the other side of the bone, and then I'm going to stretch it around and under my foot. So now I'm going to stretch it around so it goes under my here. You can kind of see it stretched. So it's essentially, I think what it does is it pulls the arch, forces the arch to provide more support. And I'm just going to bring it back across here, across the other piece, and then back around behind, just to get a bit of stick going. So it's this part here, in here is the discomfort, so it's just providing arch support. I do have a bandage I wear that does that, but the bandage is much thicker, so it's going to add more to the shoe. It'll be harder to go on the shoe with my orthotic as well, so we'll test that and see how it goes for the run. So one thing I'm hoping to do after my run is have an ice bath. It's been there for a week, so I just got to check it. As you can see, it's coming into fall now. I've got to bring these plants inside, but I'm too lazy. Apparently I've got to do something to the soil, which I have to research and find out what that is. You can see all the leaves getting everywhere now. I've got to clean this up on my bike. The problem is, if this is bad water, I've got to drain it over to there, so I'll have to clean that. You can see, I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but that's murky as hell. You can't even, there's like a oily slick on the top. Can you see that black stuff there? This water's pretty bad. It doesn't have plastic. Last time it got plasticky stuff floating on the top, so it's not, has been worse. Probably still dip in it because I'm going to shower afterwards anyway, so if it's dirty, I'll just wash it off. Hopefully I don't get any skin rashes. So I'm just finishing up this run.
45 minutes easy pace. I spoke to my coach and said, because he had me at 4.7 miles per hour, no sorry, yeah 4.7 miles per hour, which was just absurdly slow. My heart rate was way down in zone 1, so I said something's not right, like I can go much faster than that. So he said push it to 5, which is what I did today, but make sure my heart rate doesn't go above 180 minus my age. I'm 43, so my heart rate can't go above 137. It's hovered around 130 to 134 the whole time. It peaked a couple of times while I was drinking water at 137. So I think this is a much better long distance pace. I've been going at it since 4:30 this morning. It's like almost 2 p.m. I feel like I could easily, I've got a 2-hour run tomorrow. I feel like I could easily smash out that 2-hour run right now. But I'm going to obviously stick to the plan. That would just be stupid. But the good thing is I taped my ankle and it feels really good. Like I don't feel anything. Previously, the worst of it is probably about 2 or 3 hours after the run, so I'll really know for sure later. But at this stage, the ankle feels very promising. Also, as I mentioned, this was a pretty easy run after my bike, so that tells me that I didn't lose the 5 or 6 weeks off running. That extra cycling possibly saved a bit of my endurance, so I'm not going to be as far behind in my running as I thought I might have been. So now it's just an ice bath, a shower, and grab some groceries before I pick up the girls.